Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. We are going to look at a number of series and parallel circuits and do some experiments to understand what happens and how the amount of light bulbs or batteries affect the brightness and electricity flow through these wires. So to start, we're going to get one AA battery, which is 1.5 volts, and connect it to one light bulb. This is going to be what we call the baseline, or our baseline, to see what happens when we add more objects and how it affects the electricity and the brightness of the bulbs. So I want you to take a look at this and fill out the first part where it says rate the brightness level out of the light bulb out of 10. So when we look at this, there's no wrong answer. So I want you to tell me what you would rate this out of 10, because next in our experiment, we're going to add another light bulb. So what I would like you to do now is make a prediction. In just a few moments, I am going to do experiment 1. I'm going to use one battery and add another light bulb. I want you to predict what you believe the brightness level, and I'm not going to complete it just yet, what the brightness level of number 1 is going to be and number 2. So I think it is time now to actually conduct the experiment. So we'll use this wire, and something happened. The light bulbs are not the same. Why? Why don't you think that they're the same brightness? Your job is to now write your observations. What is the brightness? So compare your prediction with the actual experiment itself. So as you can see, it got dimmer, and what I can do is I can just compare it right here for you. So this was our baseline, and this is what the experiment came out to be. So it got dimmer. Now the question is, why did it get dimmer? So if you notice here, there is 1.5 volts of battery or of electricity. So instead of just being split up between one light bulb here, it's now the electricity is separated into two light bulbs. So what you get now is it shares the power. I'll give you a few moments just to write that explanation before we go on to the next experiment. For our second experiment, we are going to now use two batteries. I'll set the original one here so you have something to compare to, and I'll show the current so you see where the electricity is going. You see it flows through these wires in one direction, and it lights that bulb up. So for this next one, I have two batteries, our wires, and I won't put the bulb just yet because I'll have you make your prediction. What do you think the brightness of this bulb is going to be out of 10? So we see this one right up here, and let me attach the light bulb to the two batteries. And we see that there is definitely a difference. So I'll give you a minute to write the answer down for that. So the question is why? Why is it brighter? So just keep in mind about the math. So this bolt has 1.5. This one is 1.5. So we have more volts. So that's 3 volts lighting this bulb up instead of half of that here. So to sum that up, we have more power lighting up the bulb, which means it is brighter.